Well, hello everybody. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about halfway Halloween and what I learned about the secret bar, and what I learned about opening for halfway Halloween, and we're going to talk about a little bit of that today. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about some events that I would like to go to this summer, and kind of just talk about a little bit of all that. And I'm just going to prop my feet up, and we're going to talk. The thing is like, these videos in a lot of ways just become like podcasts, okay? Where I don't have any notes, okay? Look, see, there's my iPad, there's my phone, there's an autograph from George Wilbur, who was Michael Myers. My car's over there's nothing written on it. These things are completely off the top of my head, okay? So 2 seconds before I turned on this video camera, I just simply said, oh, okay, here's what we're going to talk about. And let me start the whole thing off by saying that, I've made quite a few videos about Transworld, about vendors, about the Eastern Haunt Convention, about the rumors that possibly, people are floating ideas that Transworld's going to move the show to Chicago. I did a video, which I thought was a great video, by the way, of how we could really make an impact on the haunt industry by working really hard to make great educational opportunities in St. Louis, and just trying to sort of beat home the point that the main show is not about haunt tours. And when you ask people where they want the show to go, they always say, where they live, obviously, or go somewhere where you can tour a lot of haunts. But that's not what the show's for. And so the show really needs to focus on education. The show, in my opinion, really needs to focus on reorganizing the show so the show can continue to grow with new vendors to come in, possibly new buyers. I think it's really important that when a vendor is thinking about going to the show, they can clearly go to the online and see the layout and see, oh, there's a theming section. Oh, there's an animation section. Oh, there's a Christmas section. Oh, there's a mask and costume section. Oh, there's an escape room, or a family entertainment section, or a food section. One of the things I think that Transworld's really missing is food. When I go to the Bowl Expo, I go to the Museum Expo, I go to IAPA. Hell, I went to CinemaCon, and oh my God, was that thing over freaking loaded with food vendors. Of course, if I go to the Pizza Expo, geez, that was really overloaded. I think that Transworld needs to go to CinemaCon, they need to go to the Bowl Expo, the Museum Expo, and they need to go to the Pizza Expo and literally mine out a lot of the food vendors. And I think that's really the next step for them, is to try to get food vendors and probably more retail vendors, okay? So that you guys can grow your, make it easy on you to figure out like how to order, what to order, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because I think haunts, two of maybe your 4 or 5 biggest things that you need to do to grow your business is going to be food, drinks, / retail, okay? Now, another big way you can make a lot more money is by how you sell your tickets. And so, and that's why you should use Fear Ticket right off the bat, because there's no reason to overpay for ticketing, okay? They all serve the same purpose, but Fear Ticket has a lot of features that really help you sell more tickets. It really does. And Fear Ticket also is cheaper, and that's just the bottom line. And so anywhere you can save money or make more money, you should explore. But what did I learn? Now that we're on the topic of ticketing, what did I learn from halfway to Halloween? I'll tell you a couple things I learned. Number one, I'm never going to do it again. That's number one. And I'm just going to touch on that a little bit. We're opening for Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving. We're opening for Valentine's. And we're opening for Krampus, and we're doing both of those as one-night only events. We spend very little in marketing. We tell the customers these are very special events. I just don't think that people want you to open your haunt 30,000 times. And there's people out there that'll open it for St. Patrick's Day. They'll open it for Thanksgiving, Krampus. And by the way, you're not just opening for Krampus. We're opening for 6 nights, okay? Why? We're opening for Valentine's. We're open 2 weekends. Why? Okay? But we're going to open for Valentine's. We're going to open for Mardi Gras. We're going to open for, because we just want to. We want to open for halfway to Halloween. I think all of these haunts are trying to figure out ways that you can open your haunt and create revenue. But how about you just create more revenue when you should be open? Okay, which is during the Halloween season, and then maybe Krampus and Valentine's. Those two make a lot of sense. They really do. And they really make a lot of sense as a one night only, I hate to tell you. But with that being said, I can tell you that this year, for our Krampus, we did 2 nights. We did a little bit more people than we did the year before, but we did it across 2 nights, not 1 night. Okay? In other words, we made more money doing it 1 night than we did 2, even though we did more people. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion. I think special events should be one big blowout. You create the FOMO by saying this is 1 night only, that's it. This is a limited amount of tickets. So we did halfway to Halloween. And let me tell you how many people we did. We didn't do that great. I think we did about 500 people, or maybe less, I'm not sure. But that was okay. I didn't spend hardly no money on advertising. When I say hardly none, I mean it was virtually none, okay? I just wanted to see how it would go if it was strictly just by us posting on social media. And that's what we did. It was strictly posted on social media. One of the best ways to sell a special event is to sell it during the regular season when you have the most eyeballs on your page. So when you go and you see the main tickets and you scroll down a little farther, you can see Krampus, then you see Valentine's, and if you're going to do halfway to Halloween, you would see that available as well. So we never had halfway to Halloween on our list of events. When you put your calendar dates out, you're going to have more people see and read that in October than you will in November, December, March, April, May, June, whatever. So if you know you're going to do halfway to Halloween, which we didn't plan until we just added it in at the end, okay? But we would have probably done more people if we would have put that on our calendar of events when we had the most eyeballs. If we would have put those tickets up for sale during October, September, even during the summer sale and all that. If all that stuff would have been available the whole time, yeah, we probably would have sold more tickets. But I wanted to know, hey, we didn't spend any money. Could we get people just by posting on social media? Well, we got 500 people, okay? I want to say we did around $3,000, $3,500 in our gift store. So that's not terrible, okay? Our escape rooms were packed, so that was a good thing. But, would I do halfway Halloween again? The answer is absolutely not. Why? Because, and I say this for no matter how big your haunt is, whether you do a lot of people or very few people. So let's just hypothetically say that I made $8,000 doing halfway to Halloween, which might be realistic. It's not worth the hassle. It's not worth putting all the energy into trying to get the haunt re-ramped up, get it open, check all the animations, walk around, clean everything, get any water effects filled up, blah, 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 fog machines fired up again. Is it worth all of that hassle? The answer's got to be no, okay? Because first off, let's put some distance between special events and October season to opening again. You know, when you open in October, it's got to be special. It's got to be important. It's got to be a must-see TV. And if you open 50,000 times all Halloween, all year long, I mean, it's not really that special that you open in October. So if we open for My Bloody Valentine, which is what we call it, and let's just say that's in February. I mean, obviously it is in February, but let's just say it's at the end of February, even though it's not. Okay, it's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So it puts 7 months in between opening again. That's enough distance where people might come again. But I do think if you open for halfway to Halloween, I don't think those people are going to come back in October. I just don't think they are. And I can tell you this, there's probably not a single haunt in the country that has done the research by literally getting the sales sheets and seeing every name of somebody who ordered and then compare it to October and go, oh yeah, we found one person. No, wait, we found 3. No, we found 10. Okay? All you're really doing, in my opinion, by opening for halfway to Halloween is what you would call robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're just robbing the Halloween season of a sale. That's really all you're doing, okay? The upside to only opening in October and September, whatever, with maybe a couple special events, is that there again, you know, it's like, hey, you got to wait until October when there's more. Look, when you go into Home Depot in August and they've got all their Halloween stuff out, that reminds people, hey, the haunted houses are opening soon, okay? You don't have that in May, right? You don't have anything like that in May. So there's nothing really out there saying, hey, you know, there's a bunch of haunts open. So what do you got to do? You got to spend money on marketing. You got to spend money on your actors. You got to spend money to get your haunt all fired up. You know, you got to go through the whole process. You know what you could be doing? You could go on a cruise, okay? You could go on vacation. You could have just gone to the Eastern Haunt Convention and called it a day. So do I think people should open for halfway to Halloween? No, I don't. I think it's a manufactured, trying to make an excuse for another day to open. You make very little money. And sure, there might be a handful of people out there doing okay with it. But, you know, at the end of the day, how much are they really making? I don't think they're making that much, okay? And it's a lot of hassle. And, you know, instead of putting all that hassle and work into opening, how about you just build a secret bar instead? How about you just build a retail store instead? How about you expand your food options, expand this, or create photo opportunities? In other words, make your haunt better for when people really want to come, which is in September, October. So that's my take on halfway to Halloween. And these insane people that open for Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day, I mean, I've talked to some of these people. Well, we did 380 people. I mean, we still made money, they'll say. No, you didn't. Because you paid a bunch of people and you're not really tracking it. You paid a bunch of people to go through the haunt, get everything fixed, and you could have just put that off until September, okay? You could have spent all that money in September when more people want to come. Does this make sense? So I personally think halfway to Halloween is a waste of time. And I can tell you this, and I said this to the people who work for me. You know, if the actors, because I do think it's a good actor bonding moment, because you need to watch the video that I did on the darkness. And I'm going to say specifically on this, when I got to the second floor, not the first floor, but the second floor, all the way through to the butcher shop, the actors were phenomenal. And you'll see that if you watch every inch of that video, especially when I get upstairs. The actors were great. They were doing amazing things. They were doing things they couldn't do at Hauntworld because the people were going through at a snail's pace. But these people walked through regular pace. The actors really were nailing them left and right, and they were freaking great. And the people had a great time. Great time. So there's no disputing that. It was fun for the customers because it was very, we were putting people in a minute and a half apart and all of that. And so that part of it was great. The customers loved it, no doubt about it. But I'd have to look in October to see if any of those people duplicated. I'm going to say they didn't. So, but from what I was saying to the people who work for me, and they ran all the actors, like, hey, if the actors really want to do a halfway to Halloween, I would do it if it was all volunteer, okay? Like, the actors would have to volunteer. I'm not paying them because realistically, we didn't make any money, okay? After we paid the actors, after we paid the security, okay, after we paid turning on the air conditioner and doing work to try to get the haunt open, and the little bit of advertising we did spend, plus the taxes you pay on the money you do make, we didn't make any money, okay? I mean, let's get real. So if we were going to do it as an actor bonding, like we want to get all the actors together, I think halfway to Halloween could be an event where you literally say, hey, this is a training opportunity. So where you could literally spend the advertising on trying to recruit actors, new actors, mixed in with some vets, and then maybe you buy pizza and you buy some soda and you have some popcorn, and you literally tell your actors, hey, we're going to put up a movie screen, and afterwards we're going to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and we're going to have some popcorn, some pizza, and some soda. But this is a training session. So if you are feeling the need to come and act for 3 hours, this would have to be a free experience, meaning you're volunteering, okay? Because it does not make any financial sense whatsoever to open in the middle of the spring or the end of spring, beginning of summer, however you want to, middle of the season, for 400 or 500 or 300 or 600 people. It makes no sense at all. So it would have to be a volunteer. I think you should make it a training thing, and then maybe have a little party afterwards where you set up and you watch horror movies and you have popcorn and we talk about everything we saw, and you try to maybe use it as a session to pick out who would be your section leads for the next year, who really impressed you, and just kind of sort of have it as that kind of experience. Now, that's how I would do it if I were to open for Halfway Halloween again. And I would literally say this to all the actors, and we would open it up to anyone who wanted to come. And you know what the funny part is? I think if we did that, you probably would get more actors show up than if you did pay. I know that sounds crazy, but it's probably true if you framed it the way that I just said, okay? Now, with that being said, what did I learn about the Secret Bar experience? Well, first off, because we weren't selling tons of tickets, we just made the Secret Bar experience wide open, meaning anyone could buy it. It was wide open, okay? So that means it could be overloaded. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Huh? Yeah, I will in 1 minute. So what did I learn about the Secret Bar experience? I learned that, number one, it would have to be a timed event, because you can only get so many people in there. And I think we sold 36, maybe 40 tickets, okay? So it was about 10% of the people. So let's say you sold 1,000 tickets and you sold 10%. That would be 100. You can't fit 100 people in there all at the same time. So the way that I would sell the Secret Bar is that it would be a separate ticket. It's not an add-on. I wouldn't make it an add-on. I would make it a separate ticket. And that it would be a time ticket. So you would have to say what time you want to come to the haunted house, and there would only be so many available per hour. So how many could you fit in there per hour? How long does the people stay in the Secret Bar? See, this is all super important for you to know. So I would say that our Secret Bar experience, some people stayed in there for 2 hours, believe it or not. and they just loved it. Everyone else came in there. They were taking tons of pictures. They were hanging out. They were playing pinball. They had a great time, okay? But I would say the average was maybe 15 minutes, let's say. So if you can fit, let's say 20, 25 people in there at once, then you would have to sell the secret bar experience in 15-minute increments, meaning you can't just say, okay, there's this many tickets over the course of an hour. You'd have to pick an increment. And by the way, when you're saying that you get immediate access, it's going to be immediate access when you show up at 7:15, when you show up at 7:30, when you show up at 7:45. So this would give your secret bar a chance to filter the people out. So if we did 1,000 people in one night, let's say, and 100 people bought the secret bar experience, that would be, let's just say we were open for 5 hours. That would be 25 people an hour. So if you did 2,000 people in one night, that would be about 50 people per hour. And how many people do I think we could sell the secret bar to? Well, I wouldn't want to sell more than 100 per hour. So, but if you sold 500 of them over the course of an hour, or course of one night, let's do the math on that. Whoops, I don't even know my own code. All right, let's do the math on that. If you sold 500 secret bar experiences for $75, that's $37,500. Let's say you were able to do that 12 times. That's $450,000. Think about that for a second. So it's definitely worth it. I do think it has to be a limited experience. It's got to be a special experience, and it's got to have some FOMO behind it. Like, in other words, these are going to sell out. There's not that many, and you've got to make your secret bar really cool. Lots of photo opportunities, lots of cool things going on inside the room. I don't think it just can be a bar. I think it's got to be more than that. So I think that's what I would do. I would say, listen, there's 75 of these an hour, 100 of these an hour. And by the way, if you did it in 15-minute increments and it was 100, that would mean, obviously, I'm guessing it would be around 20-something people per 15 minutes. So if you said you could do 100 over the course of an hour, that's, wait a minute. So what are we doing here? If we say you could do 100 an hour divided by 15, you could sell 6 to 8 every 15 minutes. That might work. Okay, that might work. That can't be right. Okay, so 15, that's 4 sessions. So it's actually 100 divided by 4. It's 25. 25 people per hour. 25 people per 15 minutes. That would be the max that you could have the experience where people could enjoy the experience. So I would actually go as far as to say maybe you should only do 20, depending on how big your bar is, how many people work in there. I will tell you it's very important that you have an ice machine, because we do. We have an ice machine. And you would have to have everything there ready to go. There'd be a lot of prep involved. And I think, buying a couple of horror pinball games or a couple of horror games, something like this, would be a good addition. An animation that talks and makes people laugh would be a good addition. Showing 50s horror movie clips, having a lot of cool props in there, a lot of cool artwork on the walls. I think all would be good things for a secret bar experience. Putting the secret bar experience kind of in the middle, I think, is even better. But yeah, this is what I learned from the secret bar experience. And I really, truly believe that this is an influencer's dream. And what I mean by that is I believe that we will be able to get a lot of influencers to come and experience the secret bar, just like they would if they were foodies. Coming and experiencing the secret bar, experiencing everything. Another thing that I learned too is I would really have to have a lot of stock. You don't want to run out of anything, so you're going to need a lot, and you're going to have to like pre-buy it all and just have it in storage. So that thing that we were using to make the foam bubbles, we'd have to buy a lot of extra inventory on that, and we'd have to buy a lot of that Roxy spice, and we'd have to have a lot of vodka, and we'd have to be ready to roll. But in short, folks, the secret bar experience was a hit. It was an absolute success. And I think it's important that if a haunt can do it, they should. People weren't getting drunk. They were enjoying the experience. And then by being able to be put back into the haunted house at their leisure, it just made the experience so much better. And part of the benefit was getting into the haunt immediately. So there's my take on a secret bar. There's my take on Halfway to Halloween. We talked a little bit about Transworld. And I want to remind people, I'm doing these videos to help the haunted house industry. I am not so much interested anymore in doing seminars, whether it's for Transworld or writing magazine articles or anything. Just kind of sort of consider this replacing Hauntworld magazine in a way. And I think it's better. Look, a lot of people say this, a lot of people say that about me, okay? I know that I'm kind of a lightning rod. One of the big reasons why I am a lightning rod is because of the fact that the Transworld shows in St. Louis, a lot of people don't like that. They think that I'm some sort of mastermind behind, keeping it here and keeping it out of their city. And then I think a lot of people don't like the fact that, we have a really great haunt, and some people are just kind of peanut butter and jealous about that. I think also people don't like the fact that if you're opinionated and you put your opinion out there, there's a lot of reasons. But I think there's more people who appreciate, what we do with the haunt tours, the education that we've been providing for literally 25 years. And I think they appreciate all that. It's actually been more than 25 years. It's probably been like 30. So I think people appreciate all that. And I really am not interested in doing seminars anymore. I'm not really interested in doing all that, but I am interested in helping the haunt industry because I'm not going to be here forever, and I am certainly not going to be doing this forever, okay? So I want to share what I know with people. And by the way, I also wanted to say that we're looking for a good animation tech to hire for this Halloween season, so if you know one, refer them over our way. We have kind of started a little bit on Creepy World, and we're getting that going little by little by little. And I would recommend, if anybody wants to come to St. Louis this Halloween, come on out, because you'll love Creepy World. It's like fantastic. But we've already kind of started on it, and we're working our way through getting it where it needs to be for 2025. And I do think that we will do a haunt tour for Transworld. It's only going to be of the darkness, and it'll probably only be 2 nights this time. It'll be a behind-the-scenes tour, and that will include the secret bar. And I think that we'll partner up with that Roxy Spikes company, and they'll actually do all the alcohol and give everybody alcohol, and everybody can experience the secret bar. And so we might have to run people through a little bit slower than we did last year so that everybody can get into the secret bar, because I think a lot of people will want to see it. And then I think we'll do something with live actors, and then my guess would be that 2026 probably would be the last time we would do a haunt tour, okay? And I just want to do a really good job, real simple, cut and dry, behind the scenes tour, the darkness with live actors, and invite everybody to come out. 100%. Maybe we'll even drop the price so we do 2,000 people, and then everybody could really complain. But I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll have to keep the price high so that the amount of people we get, they're gonna go through slow because they're haunted house owners. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you watch the video that we uploaded, you'll see how great the job the actors did when you only have when you have normal people going through like super fast, it's a totally different experience. But I do think that we will do some stuff differently for Transworld. We're going to work on that Frankenstein scene. Maybe we'll get to redoing the steps that lead from the first floor to the second. And there might be a couple other things that we work on, but we've done so much since Transworld, and we have a special thing that we're going to work on with the darkness that I don't want to say what it is right now, but it's going to be a start to finish high-tech thing that we do to the whole entire haunted house that I think a lot of people would be like, wow, like, this place is intense now. So I think we're going to focus on that as well. And I think it's going to be a big focus of the seminar that we give for the behind the scenes tour. So anyway, with all that being said, thanks for watching the video. Hope you liked the video, and we'll see you very, very soon. Doubt that I would go to MHC. Wouldn't mind going to Midwest Haunters Convention. No, Midsummer's Night Scream. Probably going to skip Monster Palooza. Probably will go to Horror Hound Weekend for Mask Fest, but this time I'm taking a truck because I want to buy a lot of the masks because I want to do something in the museum. So those are probably the shows that I'm going to go to. It's the Horror Hound, the Mask Fest. Going to skip the Monster Palooza probably. Probably won't go to MHC, but I don't know. I mean, I could drive up to Tri-Pack. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on going to between now and October. And there you have it. So thanks for watching the video. We'll see you very, very soon. And by the way, I'm going to start using a new camera coming up here very, very soon. And I just bought a truck today. Not this one, but I bought a truck that I can drive on a daily basis. So I won't be driving this one as much. And you'll see a brand new black truck. It's actually really nice. It has, in the seats, it has massagers. It's actually pretty cool. So anyway, I will see you guys soon. And thanks for watching the video. And what else can I offer to you? I'm going to start exercising as soon as this new gym opens next to my place. I'm going to devote a lot of time to exercising, trying to get into shape so I can feel better for the haunt season. And that's it. So happy Halloween, happy haunting, and we'll see you soon.